Chuka Chant, an easy-peasy person from Easy-Peasy Island in the middle of the terrific ocean, by Roger Hargreaves and Gray Joliffe. Meet Chuka Chant, the easy-peasy gorilla. He lives in Banana Cottage, at the top of a banana tree, in Treetop Terrace, in the Congo jungle, on Easy-Peasy Island, in the middle of the terrific ocean. One thing you need to know about gorillas is that they look like as if they have a permanent scowls upon their faces. Chuka Chant certainly did look serious. That's because he grumbled a lot. He was the most grumbliest gorilla in the entire universe. He grumbled about running out of coconut milk for his sun-dried banana cereal. He complained about eating his sun-dried banana cereal. But most of all, he grumbled about when his cereal soaked up all the coconut milk so that he could grumble about his cereal being too soggy. "What kind of breakfast is this?" he would complain as he ate. And it will come to his no surprise that he grumbles about his fellow easy-peasy islanders, such as Sam Squeak being the smallest easy-peasy mouse ever, and Geoffrey Grunt being the tallest easy-peasy giraffe ever. He rants about Clive Click, the easy-peasy dolphin, having a high IQ. He rants about Sonny Spin, the easy-peasy Tasmanian devil, having little to no intelligence. And as for Patricia Peck, the easy-peasy woodpecker, he complains about her being way too silly. No one can escape Chuka's rants. Or can they? Now, this story begins one afternoon when Chuka Chant was in his living room watching the weather report on television. "Phew, it's hot, hot, hot," said the weatherman. "It's 26 degrees Celsius, or if you prefer, 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's off to the beach with you lot." "Puh, it's better rain soon," grumbled Chuka. And he turned off the TV in disgust. He was just about to go into his kitchen to drink a banana milkshake when there was a knock on the door. Chuka was very irritated. "What kind of person wants to come and see me at a time like this?" he grumbled as he stormed off to open the door. It was Steve Snap, the easy-peasy crocodile, and his good friend Sakile Stampede, the worried easy-peasy wildebeest. "I don't know what you want from me, nor do I care," complained Chuka, "but I just want to let you know that if you have a problem with me, I'll deal with you. I'll deal with all of you. I'll deal with your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, even your son." Steve Snap wasn't going to have any of this. He gave Chuka a hard stare and said, "Now listen here, Chuka, mate. Sakile doesn't like being with crowds, so he needs one-on-one company. I'm going to chill in the Everglades, and Sakile doesn't like the Everglades because they're too hot and steamy. And I want you to look after him and be kind to him." "Why would I ever do that?" roared Chuka, feeling downright annoyed at the thought of it. Steve looked very serious. "I'm not mucking around here, mate," he said sternly. "Look after Sakile, or I'll click my fingers, and you won't like it." In the end, Chuka Chant let out a slow, disappointed sigh and invited Sakile Stampede into his house. "You will pick him up later, will you?" asked Chuka. But Steve had already gone. Chuka scoffed and rolled his eyes and sat down on the sofa with Sakile. "Thanks for looking after me," said Sakile timidly. "Puh!" scoffed Chuka. Then Sakile noticed how dark it was in the living room. "Can you draw back the curtains, please? I never liked the dark," he said. Chuka was very irritated. He stormed up to the curtains and drew them back with such force it looked like he was going to rip them off the railings. "There, better?" he demanded. "Yes, thank you," quivered Sakile. Then Chuka said, "Do you fancy anything to drink, like banana smoothie?" Sakile shivered. I wouldn't wish to have that," he stammered. "I'm scared it'll freeze me over." "How about banana bread then?" asked Chuka, feeling a little more irritated. "I wouldn't like the taste very much," replied Sakile. "I am scared I won't ever get the taste out of my mouth." Chuka was fuming. "Hey, don't you talk bad about Banana Loaf!" he bellowed, beating his chest in a rage. Sakile hid behind the sofa, trembling. Chuka suddenly remembered Steve Snap's words, calmed down, and said, rather calmly, "On second thought, let's go for a walk around the Congo jungle, okay?" Sakile felt a bit better after hearing that. As they went for a walk in the jungle, Sakile shared his worries and problems with Chuka. "I worry about a lot of things, Chuka," explained Sakile. "Like being on my own forever and no one visiting me. Or the worst one of all, no one being there to comfort me." Chuka tried his best not to be irritated, but deep down he wished to send Sakile packing. But instead he said, "Have you ever considered going places, like going to the beach or finding a hobby or something?" "Again, that's the problem," replied Sakile. "I'm worried that the sun will swallow me whole and my hobby will get boring, and then I have to find another one, and that will bore me, and the cycle will repeat over and over again." Chuka was getting very annoyed at listening to Sakile's worries and problems he had, but try as he might, he knew he couldn't lose his temper again, otherwise he would know that Steve Snap would overhear him and click those magic fingers of his and put a spell on him that he wouldn't like. Sakile wanted to run away from Chuka, but he knew he was scared of being on his own, so he just walked with him. Suddenly a torrential downpour of rain fell down upon the Congo jungle. "Oh great," said Chuka, "better head home." And both he and Sakile hurried through the jungle back to Banana Cottage in the heavy rain. "What is up with them?" No sooner had they arrived at Banana Cottage, Sakile hurried upstairs and hid in Chuka's closet. Chuka didn't notice this and sat down on the sofa. "Might as well bore myself to tears by watching some TV shows," he said. He surfed through the channels for a few minutes until he got bored and turned it off. "Puh, they're all the same," he grumbled. "Never anything decent. It's not like when I was younger." And he ranted and complained and grumbled upstairs to his room. No sooner had Chuka arrived in his bedroom, he heard a strange knocking sound coming from his closet. He went to open the closet door, and out fell Sakile Stampede, who had been in there for 3 hours. "Whatever are you doing in my closet?" asked Chuka. "I was hiding from the scary rain," replied Sakile. "It's a good thing that there's a light in your closet, otherwise I would have been caught by closet monsters." Chuka scoffed and rolled his eyes in absolute disbelief. Then he looked outside his window. The rain had stopped and the moonlight was shining over the Congo jungle. "Okay, you can go home now," said Chuka. "I can't go on my own," replied Sakile with a quiver. "I'm scared that someone might take me away. Can I stay here for the night?" Chuka let out a very irritated sigh and set up the bed in the spare bedroom. Sakile got into the spare bed and settled down, but he couldn't sleep. "May I have the nightlight on, please? And would it be alright if you read me a bedtime story?" he asked politely. Chuka scoffed and rolled his eyes again and turned on the bedside light. Then he took out a book about a worried wildebeest and began to narrate it. "You see, there was a time when wildebeest worried a lot. Sakile smiled. The sound of ranting and raging would have kept him up all night. But a story about a worried wildebeest would send him happily to sleep. "But why were they worried? Well, why am I asking you?"